will see my mate Ryan interviewing a teacher about the teaching methods have changed and how she thinks the students have changed their capacities of learning. She will be talking about her purpose in teaching and the type of techniques. Now let's go and see the interview, shall we? Good morning. Today I interview my English teacher, Anna. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. First question. How do you think that the students' habits have changed through the years?
They have certainly changed a lot because a few years ago there were no social networks or like things like Facebook, like Twitter, and now I think that students are getting a little bit distracted with all these things, and it has affected also on the students' grades. But I mean, this is just a matter of combining good studying habits, like besides combining good studying habits, it is also important to sleeping early and keeping focused on whatever thing you are reviewing in class. There are students who have suffered from poor memory, and well, this is a condition that they have been born with. There are also some students that have certain attention issues. Yes, they have trouble retaining things, and well, it certainly has changed through all these years, and it has changed, I think, that for the bad. Right now, social networks have been playing an important role in the parts of many high school students and even elementary school students, and this has been a great distraction for them.
What recommendation can you give to students to improve their grades?
Okay, my only recommendation is to review your notes at home, to practice everything, and not to keep any questions to themselves. And most of all, I mean, if I tell you I just recommend them to study. But I mean, they should know how to study. It is not just the studying, it is just how to study, and it is all according to their level of comprehension or the learning level, and it is all according to their skills. If a student, for example, has problem learning mathematics, well, it would be easier that he or she get some specialists in the matter and some sort of help outside the regular studying habits, like getting private classes or private consultancies. It also will help.
What is your purpose in each class?
My purpose is just to transmit a little bit of knowledge of what I have been learning through the years, and also it's also for students to have fun in their classes. I mean, I try to make my fun as fun as I can, but my main purpose obviously is to let them be aware that you can be bilingual and to transmit this knowledge that I have been learning in a simple way, in an easy way. English doesn't have to be hard, English doesn't have to be difficult at all, and I think that everyone can learn English with the appropriate system, and obviously with some appropriate and simple explanations. The information can be easily transmitted, and that way students can understand it much better.
What do you do when your students are out of control?
When my students are out of control, I have had some situations like those ones. The first thing I do is first of all, I never try to exhibit the student in public. I just try to speak to him in private and to see what the problem is, or to see if this is just that he's getting just spoiled, or if he's really having trouble concentrating on the class, or it just depends, right? I mean, it all depends on what kind of situation it is. But I always try to speak to the student in private and find out what the problem is. And if he really gets out of control, I have to speak to the parents. Of course, this is an important part. I have to get the parents involved in the participation of the student. And if this isn't enough, then I guess the student and I will have a serious talk about it, and just to see if the student is really interested in learning, then he can continue being in my class. Otherwise, there is no point.
What studying habits do you think are the best for high school students?
Well, the best studying habits for high school students would be gathering, like getting in groups, and so that there can be a brainstorming. Everybody can have their own ideas, and they can share their knowledges. And a thing that has worked for me all of my studying years, was that if I have a paragraph to read and I have to get the most important information, what I did or what I would do in those times is I would write questions about that information on the paragraph. I would write WH questions like what, who, when, why, but I made my own questions, and from those questions I would answer them. And to me, this is a technique that I still use whenever I have an exam, and my kind of memory is more like visual, so I retain the information easier if I write it myself instead of just reading it or just highlighting the information. And it has been working for me all of these years. So if you have a more like a visual memory, that would be a good technique.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
For this, we saw some students' habits. Now we got a look of habits the teachers have, and now they have changed along the years. This teacher told us that times have changed, and so are the teaching methods and the habits she used to have, and her view of her teaching years. Things have changed, and so are people, and that's good because it means that we are getting better.
We really appreciate teachers who are truly passionate about teaching. The teacher who wants to be an inspiration to others. The teacher who is happy with her job at all times. The teacher that every other child in the school would love to have. The teacher that kids remember for the rest of their life. Teaching is meant to be a very enjoyable and rewarding career field. You cannot expect the kids to have fun if you are not having fun with them. If you only read the instructions out of a textbook, it's ineffective. Instead, make your lessons come alive by making it as interactive and engaging as possible. Let your passion for teaching shine through each and every day. Enjoy every teaching moment to the
Bring positive energy into classroom every single day. No matter how you're feeling, how much sleep you've gotten or how frustrated you are, don't let that show. Even if you're having a bad day, learn to put on a mask in front of the students. Be someone who is always positive, happy, and smiling. Always remember that positive energy is contagious and it is up to you to spread it. Don't let other people's negativity bring you down with them. Take off that negativity.
Never fall behind on the marking or filling of students' work. Try your best to be on top of it and not let the pile grow. It will save you a lot of time in the long run. It is also important to keep an organized planner and plan ahead. The likelihood of last-minute lesson plans becoming effective are slim. Lastly, keep a journal handy and jot down your ideas, what's on and inspire ideas from in your mind. Then, make a plan to put those ideas in. Pay attention to what are your students saying.
Well, we can say that an effective teacher reflects on their teaching to evolve as a teacher. As teacher, your education and learning is ongoing. There is always more to learn and know about in order to strengthen your teaching skills. There are, indeed, several other habits that make an effective teacher, but these are the ones that we find most important. Many other teacher traits can be tied into these ones as well. Thank you for watching our documentary.